I'm Saturday hauling for you guys today, and I'm gonna go ahead and start off with a couple items that I purchased from Ulta. I got another one of the Anastasia Beverly Hills stick highlighters, which is a pretty new product from the brand. And there's a total of 8 grams of product, or 0.28 ounces in this guy. And it says on the packaging that it's made in Korea. So this is the box packaging, and this is actually the second shade of this product that I purchased. The original one that I got was Pink Diamond, and I went ahead and I got the shade Dripping in Gold, which is a more golden champagne kind of shade, because the Pink Diamond is quite icy. And what I like to do with these stick highlighters is use them on the top of my cheekbones and then layer a highlighter over the top, because I'm quite dry on the top of my cheeks. So some really pretty highlighters have a hard time sticking to that area on my face, and these just make a perfect base for those kind of highlighters, and they just look really pretty over the top of other highlighters that do stick as well. So I wanted to get one with a little bit more warmth in it, and that is the Dripping in Gold shade, and I do have it as a base on my cheeks today underneath another highlighter that I'm going to show you guys in a minute. But I'll go ahead and swatch them next to each other so you can see the differences between the two. I've used up quite a bit of Pink Diamond, and there's a little synthetic brush on the end that I don't really use because it's quite firm and dense, and for like a cream type of product to not disturb my foundation, I like something a little bit more airy, or a little bit more movement to it anyway. And then too, I just wanted to make mention, I had seen this on, I think it was Instagram or something, but these brushes come off the end. So if you do like to use these brushes, you can take them off. They're like twist off and then wash them. But I think that the end of this is pretty tight anyway, so you could probably avoid like taking it off and just wash it. Anyway, it is there if you do like to use those. So let's swatch Dripping in Gold. And there are really fine, I almost want to say they're like micro glitters, but they're very fine, or either like almost like larger micas that are in these products. So here is Dripping in Gold right there. And this one right here, if I layer something like the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlighter, which is a baked gelée, or if I use like a champagne golden highlighter over the gold one, it can have a little bit of a undercast to it. So I just like to use something more champagne with this gold one to kind of get that golden glow. But anyway, there's Dripping in Gold right there, and then I will swatch it next to Pink Diamond. And again, I've used up actually quite a bit of this already. And this is just a really icy, pretty color. I thought that one would be fun to warm up my face for in the summertime, so I got it. And I really like the formulation, and I really love that I can use these over the top of set foundation and concealer, and it doesn't disturb what's underneath. I kind of blended them out there just a little bit. Right there. So Dripping in Gold and Pink Diamond from Anastasia Beverly Hills stick highlighters. I also purchased the third installment of the original 9-pan palettes from Colourpop. I had hauled 2 last week, and then I realized that I hadn't had the third one, and this, I really like this one. It may be one of my favorite ones. It's a standalone for me, and I really like the formulation in here. So there's 0.28 ounces of product, or 8 grams, and all Colourpop products are made in the US. So just like the other two, it's got the acrylic packaging, and there are 2 Super Shock shadows in here. In this one, it's these 2 shades right here. And it's just a great selection of colors for a one and done look, and it's nice and compact as well. I should tell you the name of this one, right? I did not mention the name. This one is called Clear the Air. There are the first 4. And then these next ones. And then this last shade, which is a nice deep matte brown color. So that one is the Clear the Air 9-pan pressed powder palette from Colourpop right there. And then I also got the new Juvia's Place Garden of Juvia's eyeshadow palette. The color story in this one just looked really pretty. So there's a total of 32 grams or 1.128 ounces according to the packaging of product, which is a pretty substantial amount of product that you're getting. And this guy here is made in the PRC. So this is the box packaging that it comes in, and then here is the actual packaging. It's a pretty lightweight cardboard packaging with a magnetic closure to it. And I've actually been wearing shades from this palette kind of all week paired with other shadows in my collection. There really isn't a shade quite deep enough for my liking for the crease to really kind of push back my hooded lid, so I've been pairing it. But these shimmer shades are just stunning. They've got a really beautiful fine micro glitter in them that over the CoverGirl and Olay primer that I use just really shines in the light. I kind of went like that because I've got two of those shades on my lid today paired with another palette that I'm going to show you. But the formulation in this is really nice. Those shimmer shades are pressed a little bit hard, so like a firm shader brush does a really good job of picking it up, and then when you blend it out on the lid, it's just got this really pretty sparkle to it. So hopefully you'll be able to see in the swatches. And then there are some really pretty matte shades as well, so I'd actually use some of those brighter mattes to blend out a deeper crease color, and got along with this palette really well. There had been some palettes from Juvia's Place in the past where I didn't feel like the formulation was quite that nice. The formulation in this one is pretty nice. So there are the first four. It's just not a standalone palette for me because there's not a lot of depth in it. These next ones, I've got these two shades on my lid today, that kind of yellow and lime green. You can kind of even see just in those swatches how pretty and shiny those shades are. And then this next row, and then the last row are all mattes. Then these ones are all mattes, kind of like diagonal and across the bottom. So those are the swatches of the new Juvia's Place Garden of Juvia. Is it called? Yes, Garden of Juvia's is what it says on the packaging there. So you can see quite pastel, but some really pretty colors in there, and a pretty nice formula too. And then the other palette that I also have on my eyes today in conjunction with that Juvia's Place palette is this LA Girl Sun-Kissed Glow eyeshadow palette. And I actually saw this on Emily Noel's channel, and she had said how wonderful the formula was. And I've tried LA Girl shadows in the past, and they're kind of hit or miss, but I was never a fan of their mineral oil formula. And I checked the ingredients in this, and this one does not have that same mineral oil formula, so I did go ahead and decide to give this a try. And this is a really nice affordable palette. So there's a sleeve that comes on the palette, and it's kind of just mimics the actual packaging as well. And there's a total of 1.058 ounces of product, or 30 grams, and that is across 20 eyeshadows. So again, here's the sleeve. It is made in China as well, is what it says on there. And then the packaging is a cardboard with a magnetic closure as well. And then the array of shades in here is just really good. There are great light, medium, and kind of deeper shimmers, and then also the matte ranges from, I can get away with this underneath the brow for like a highlight type shade, or those shimmer shades, and then some really pretty blend out shades and some really deep crease shades as well. So it's a really nice eyeshadow palette. This first two rows right here, these first two rows right here are all really high shine shimmer metallics, except for this guy is one of those sequins where the base is a matte with those kind of infused sparkles, and then the bottom two rows are matte eyeshadows. So I've got I think I used these three shades right here, and then this guy, no, I used these four shades and then this guy from the Crease Upwards with the Juvia's Place palette on my eyes today. But this is a great buy. I hope that LA Girl sticks with this formulation as opposed to their other, because it's very, very nice. And this guy. Just really super shiny, pretty shades. Next ones. These four. And this was pretty affordable as well. And then those coupons that Ulta does works on this too, because LA Girl's like a drugstore brand. And then these last four shades. Some nice depth in there. Can I fit them all on here? Right across the elbow. So there are the 20 swatches of the LA Girl Sun Kissed Glow eyeshadow palette right there. Quite a few swatches, but very pretty, very nice. And that's actually everything that I got in that I purchased this week. I did get in some really amazing PR packages from some brands that I really love. So I'll start off with the Sonia G Mini Kayaking set. And she came out with one of these sets, I want to say it was last year. And they're really functional, travel friendly brushes. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again. But Sonia G is a handmade Japanese makeup brush connoisseur. She's got like a museum, if you will, in her house of handmade Japanese makeup brushes. So you kind of can't go wrong with anything in her range. I use brushes from her range like every single day. One of my favorites lately has been this guy right here, which comes in a 2 set. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but I noticed that this is still in stock. It's just so pretty and a wonderful, wonderful blush brush. But anyway, this new Mini Kayaking set comes with a great range as well. So I have used all 5 of these brushes in today's look. So there is a jumbo base brush, so you can see that the handles are quite a bit shorter. Again, they're travel friendly brushes, but they're very functional. So this one here has got a bit of a slant right here, and it's still really, really soft. It's dense, but the end can be fluffy as well. So today I use this for bronzer actually, and I have used like an angled brush upside down for bronze contouring for a really long time. So I like pick up product on the angled side like this, and then I tip it this direction, and then when I kind of put it in the hollows of the cheek, the longer bristles kind of help from preventing product going any further than the cheekbone. So I like to use an angled brush like this for bronzer, but it is the jumbo base brush for like liquid foundation, or either mineral powder as well would work really lovely with this. It's such a functional style brush because of that angle. I mean, in a pinch, you could use it for highlighter, blush, bronzer, foundation, the whole, 9 yards. So that is the jumbo base brush right there. And then you can kind of see that angle that it's got on there. And then there's also the soft face brush. This one here I used for 2 things. I put blush on first, and then I also wanted to see how it would function with the size to kind of wisp and buff on my meteorite. So if I were just to take the Kayaking brushes, like if I went on a trip or something, would this function as an all over dusting of buffing of like finishing powder, right? And it worked out great for that as well. Granted, it is smaller, so you do buff a little bit more because of the size, but it worked really great for it. So this one is actually circular all the way around. There's no pinch to it, and it worked really great for blush as well. A little bit wispy, but the bristles are packed nicely at the ferrule right there as well, so you got a decent amount of control to it too. So that guy is the soft face brush. And then you have got the jumbo worker brush. I actually used this brush with that Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighter. So I used this brush to pick up product right off the bullet for the Anastasia stick and just went right on my face like that, and it worked out great for that. And then I actually used the same brush for the powder highlighter and then buffed it over the skin. So this one does have a pinch to it. This one would also work really good for super quickly blending out concealer, or also for cream shadow or blending out like primer. But it worked great for a highlighter brush for me as well. So again, there's a pinch to it and there's a bit of fluffiness. Again, this one's a little bit more dense, but it's still really soft and has a lot of like movement at the bristle. They're so soft though, so soft. And then we have got the crease brush, which is a larger style fluffy blender with a point to it. It is also round all the way on the ferrule. And I used this brush for the matte shadow from the LA Girl underneath my brow and kind of blended it downwards, and it worked really great for that. Like super fluffy. Again, the density at the kind of ferrule right here allows for a good control with a fluffy brush, if that makes sense. So that guy is the crease brush. And the last one is the detail brush, which is a smudger brush, and I actually use this as the transition color to help blend out the deep shade that I put in the crease, like right through there, and it worked out great for that because I don't really smoke out underneath the lash line. Otherwise it would be good for that, or also like smoking out eyeliner. So that guy is the detail brush. This one is also circular all the way around and very, very soft as well. And these have got the prettiest handles, and then they've got Sonia G's, let me use the bigger brush, you could probably see it better. They've got Sonia G's logo on the bottom of the handle. They're just so pretty, and the ferrule on these ones is like a satin matte kind of finish to it, or brushed kind of finish. It's very, very pretty. So that is the new Sonia G Kayaking brush set right there, and an absolute huge thank you to Sonia G and Beautylish for sending those over. They're just like I said, you can't go wrong with her range at all. They're wonderful. And then next up, I got in a package from Sydney Grace, and they sent me over a couple of their new items that are going to be launched during their July special. They call it their Christmas in July, and I've actually shopped that sale quite a few times in the past to kind of get some of the products I had my eyes on, because the sales are really, really good. So this is their Christmas in July sale. It's July 25th through August 1st. There's a new deal every day at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So that's the new deals show up at that time on their website every day. And then this is the front, so I can show you guys the details. And again, they've got different sales every single day. So I'll kind of just hold that up there if you guys want to pause it and get a little bit more detailed information on every day during the sale that they're doing, because like I said, again, they do really good sales. I myself have stocked up on their products in the past because the sale's so good. So they did send me over one of their lip glosses, and I've never tried their lip gloss formula before, and I think it's a pretty new product as well. I really like the packaging on it. This one didn't come in a box, it just kind of came in the little red bag that was in there. And this is the shade Tracy, and it's a really glossy, really pigmented, kind of rich rosy brown color, burgundy brown color. Very, very glossy, and it smells like creme brulee. It's got a sweet scent to it, but I don't find it like, it smells like super synthetic. It smells like really nice, and that's what the applicator looks like. So that is the lip gloss in Tracy. Tons of pigmentation on that guy. There was also a brush in there, and this is the SGF06 brush from Sydney Grace, which they just launched these synthetic brushes from their range. And this is a really super soft synthetic that has a dome to it, and it's circular all the way around at the ferrule, and it's just a really wispy, super airy synthetic brush. And I like to use a brush like this for setting powder, actually, because it's quite wispy and it's not going to like disturb the liquid products that's underneath it. So this one here again is the SGF06 brush. It's on the little sleeve that it comes in, it's not on the actual brush. And then I really like the handles on their brushes as well. comes to a point right there. And these are the soft synthetics that they stay really fine and soft all the way to the tip, so they work well with products that are pressed very softly, or loose powders is what I like to use brushes again like this for. And then they also sent over another newer product in their range, and this is one of their cream eyeshadows. And Sydney Grace products are made in the USA as well. So there's 10 milliliters of product, and this is the box that it came in, and it's in a squeezy tube like this. For an eyeshadow, this is just such a, you're getting a hefty amount of product in here for a liquid eyeshadow. So the shade they sent me is Stolen Kiss, so I'll just put a little bit on the back of my hand here, and it's a really pretty rose gold shade. I'll put this is what the packaging looks like right there, and then there is the Stolen Kiss shade. So as I blend it out here, you can see kind of how far that much product goes. One of the things that I liked about this particular product is it didn't have that super stiff dry down that it dries down really quickly, and it's almost like it's stiff. So like on my drier eyelids, nothing else would stick to it. So this here remains with, I don't want to say tacky, but it's not that stiff dry down formulation. It has a little bit of something to it that'll like stick. So for instance, let me put over one of the single shadows that they sent over in the package as well, is this shade Yours Forever. So let me just show you guys. Look at how pretty that is. There are some really fine like shimmer micro glitters in there that are like burgundy, silver, gold. But I just want to show you guys what this looks like over the top, and that it does cling quite nicely to shadows. So it has a dry down, but it's not that stiff dry down. So I think that it works out great as an eyeshadow base as well. But it doesn't like move around on my drier lids anyway. I'm not sure like on a more oily lid by itself if it would crease or anything, but for me, I didn't have any issues with it. So that is the Stolen Kiss liquid eyeshadow right there. And then I swatched the Yours Forever shadow, which I'll also swatch down here by itself so you can see it by itself, because there are 3 more single shadows that I want to swatch as well that they sent over, and I really need to get these in a palette before I like accidentally break one. So they sent over 3 matte eyeshadows as well. This is the shade You Have Me, and the names are on the back there. So this is You Have Me. And then they sent Together Forever. And then the 4th single shadow they sent is Heart and Soul. So those are the 4 single shadows. And then they sent over a single highlighter as well. And this is actually the highlighter that I used over the top of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dripping in Gold highlighter that I swatched earlier. So this is the shade Heaven, and it's quite how do I say, it's quite frosty, and it works really well over that golden tone on my skin tone, so I don't get that undercast with the Dripping in Gold or a more golden highlighter over the top of that. It's very, very shiny, very, very pretty. I love the color that they picked out for my skin tone, but you can see right there it's quite icy for sure and very pigmented, but I love a blinding highlight, so I'm definitely not mad at that. It's a really pretty shade. So that is the highlighter in Heaven right there, and that has 7 grams of product in it. And the eyeshadows, they have got 1.8 grams of product, so almost 2 grams per pan. So that again is a lot of product that you're getting. And then lastly, there are 2 9-pan palettes that are launching during their Christmas of July. The California Coast palette launches on 7/25, and then the Mountain Trail palette launches on 7/27. So the palettes are very cute packaging. Each one comes with a sleeve with the same kind of visual and information on the back. So again, made in the USA. There's a total of 16.2 grams of product across 9 shades in each of these palettes, and I've worn both of these, and neither one of them are standalone for me. Like I actually used that highlighter in Heaven as an eyeshadow in conjunction with both of these palettes, and it worked out great, just kind of incorporating that highlighter in here, because everything in these palettes is kind of Mid-tone or deeper for me, so I was needing a little something lighter and brighter. So this is the California Coast, and I believe these are also going to come in, or at least one of them is. There isn't a sticker on Mountain Trail, but they often do a light version and a dark version. So this is the light version of the California Coast palette right here. Cardboard packaging with a magnetic closure and then a mirror in there. And I love the tones in here. It kind of gives me some fall vibes, so does the other one. We shouldn't be talking about fall right now. But let me give you guys some swatches of this guy. So you can see there that everything's kind of mid-tone or deeper on my more fair skin tone there. But the inclusion of that highlighter, it actually works out pretty nice to use that. And then these guys. And this last shade here. And I mean, you can just see in these swatches just how pigmented their formulation is. And they work really well too. Minimal fallout. It brushes off the face fairly easily, but just very pigmented, pretty shades. So that palette there is the California Coast palette. And the other palette is the Mountain Trail palette. I love the color story in here. Again, I do have to bring in something a little bit lighter because everything's kind of mid-tone or deeper on me, but I love these like grungy greens and yellows that are in here. Well, greenish yellows, if you will. Really pretty shades. I think I've worn this one a bit more than I've worn the other one. And I left up those other swatches. I almost started wiping them off then, and I was like, maybe you want to see the colors together. And then these guys. And then this last shade, which is a really deep emerald green. Forest green, maybe not emerald. It's a really deep matte green. So there's the Mountain Trail palette right there. Really, really pretty shades. And then there's again the California Coast and the Mountain Trail. And just an absolute huge thank you to Sydney Grace for sending over that package. I didn't even know. Like, it's so much fun when I get a package and I didn't even know it was coming, and there's just like some really cool stuff in there. So and then Colourpop sent me over their Clay It Cool collection, which I believe is their latest launch. It's kind of a real bronzy collection. So let me go ahead and swatch and talk about the products that are in here. So there's one of the shimmering body powders from Soul Body. There's 0.35 ounces of product in this guy. This is what the packaging looks like. And then this one here is called Fire Up. And these here, the last one that they sent me, it's like a peachy one. I've been using it as like sparkles on my neck. So I didn't put it on today because I was going to kind of use this big brush and go like this and see if you guys can see it through the camera on this one. It has that coconut scent to it that a lot of the Soul Body products has. And this is what it looks like here. So it's kind of, it's like a hybrid between a Super Shock and a pressed powder, but very, very shiny. Like super shiny. It's like a copper rose gold, a copper rose with golden sparkles in it. It's called Fire Up. So I'm just going to take this brush here. This is what I've been using the last one that I got for, because it looks really pretty. And then I've just been kind of putting it on my neck and like décolleté for some sparkle. I don't know if you can see that, but it looks really pretty. Like when I look in the mirror, the shine that it kind of gives and that extra rosy, like sun-kissed look that it gives my neck kind of ties in with my face a little bit. So that is the Soul Body Fire Up Shimmering Body Powder right there. And then I believe there were 4 blotted lips that launched with this collection. I got 2 of them. So this is what the packaging looks like. There's 0.06 ounces of product in there. And then this is the shade Paint Me right here. So this again is like a worn off lipstick type of look, if you will. Blotted lip, like you took a Kleenex over it type of thing. So this again is the, what I say, Paint Me shade. Right there. And it's a very silicone based formula. That's kind of what gives it that washed out kind of look to it. And then this is what the packaging looks like. So that's the shade Paint Me, and the other shade is called Bust right here. So this is the shade Bust. Right there. And again, those are the two blotted lips that were in the package. And then the collection also came with 6 new Super Shock bronzers. So there's a total of 0.18 ounces of product in this guy. This is the packaging right there. And I haven't used these just yet because I really like to buff bronzer into the skin. And I'm scared that it's gonna move my foundation. So I'm yet to use them. I'm able to use the Super Shock highlighters pretty easily on the top of my cheeks, but I use more like a patting and a swiping motion, and it's like a smaller area. And I don't have that issue when I put on the highlighters like that, but I'm a little nervous because of, again, how much I buff bronzer into the skin. So let me just go ahead and swatch these for you guys. This first one is Get Sandy. And it's a really pretty shade of bronze too. So I just need to get over my fears and try it out. So that is Get Sandy. Right there. It's got this really pretty, like, cool tone to it, if you will. Neutral to cool kind of tone. So again, that's the Get Sandy shade. And then we have got the shade I'll Bet, I-S-L-E-B-E-T, I'll Bet. Again, another pretty tone as well in this one. So that one is I'll Bet. That one almost has a little bit of olive in it. And then we have got the shade Beachin right here. So this is the shade Beachin. Very, very creamy. So there's Beachin. And then we have got the shade Dream Vacay. So here is Dream Vacay. And then there is the shade Paradise City. So there is Paradise City. And then the last one is the shade Summer Forever. So this is Summer Forever. And those are the swatches of the new Super Shock bronzers that came out right there. And then lastly, we have got the Clay It Cool Pressed Powder Palette. So this is the packaging on this guy. And there's a total of 13.75 grams or 0.49 ounces of product in there. And I purchased the other two 10 pans that came out like this, and I really enjoyed those. So this one is got some really pretty shades in there. I did use this by itself, and I kind of wished for something a little bit brighter on my inner corner. Other than that, I was able to make it work, and it looks really pretty. There is one cream kind of eyeshadow base, if you will, which is this shade down here in the corner. So I'm just going to swatch that on top. As usual, these are magnetized inside the palette too, so if you want to remove them. So that's the creamy base product that's in there. And then these are some really beautiful shimmers. And then the bottom row are matte shadows. Just like super pretty colors. I think I forgot to swatch this one. This is like a matte kind of highlight shade right there. I used it underneath the brow bone when I did use this palette. Almost forgot that one. I have cat hair on my fingers, sorry. And then this last shade right here. So those are the swatches for the Colourpop Clay It Cool pressed powder palette right there. Really warm, kind of like a burnt palette. Really pretty shades in there. And those are all the products from the Clay It Cool collection that Colourpop came out with, and a huge thank you to Colourpop for sending that over. And then lastly, I got in 2 beautiful PR packages from the House of Sillage. They send over their stuff packaged like so beautifully. So they came out with a new fragrance, and when I first started seeing promo pictures of this one, I was just like hoping, because I'm a gourmand fragrance lover. I love sweet vanilla, sweet candy smelling things. So this is called the Sweet Atelier by House of Sillage, and I'll just kind of read off the PR card that came in here. It says, satisfy your cravings with Sweet Atelier, the new House of Sillage fragrance that puts the cherry on top. There's like literally a cherry on top of the cupcake. This fragrance embodies the sweet irresistibility of a delectable dessert and the playfulness of your favorite sweet treats. Indulge yourself in the sense of this delightful confection. So the top notes are peach nectar, orange sanguine, and davana, and the heart notes are narcotic osmanthus, Indian jasmine, and rum STT. The base notes are amber woods, patchouli Indonesia, and cedar wood atlas. And then there's Nicole Mather. She is the founder of the brand, and here's the card. So you can see the cupcake. Wait till I show it to you in person. So this is really interesting. When I first opened up this package, or this bottle, shall I say, and I sprayed it, I was like, no way, because it instantly reminded me of a fragrance that I had gone through so many bottles of, and it got discontinued, and I was like, it just like revved me up, right? Because again, it's a discontinued fragrance, and I've never ever smelled something that even had the inkling of possibly smelling like this. And the fragrance that I'm referring to is the Kat Von D Saint perfume. Now this isn't her latest Saint, because they did revamp it, which I was really excited about, and the newer version of it smelled nothing like the original. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. So anyway, I had gone through so many bottles of this. You can see that there's, you know, a little bit of discoloring in mine, because this is very old, and I do have a full-size bottle that's still in the cellophane as well. But I'm obsessed with this perfume, and I've never smelled anything that even came close to smelling like this. So the opening of the House of Sillage Sweet Atelier perfume smelled like that for me. Like it resonated in my brain as that fragrance, if you will. And then it has got the most interesting like dry down. Like throughout the day I get these whiffs of this sweetness, but if I were to like try to smell the perfume on my skin or something like directly, then I get more of the patchouli and the amber. So this is the package. The gummy bears, and as usual with the House of Sillage, they just do everything right when it comes to the bottling. I didn't put the cap back on because I want it to be easily to take off to show you guys. And each one of these cupcake perfumes does come with a little cleansing cloth in there as well. I mean, it's so cute, so cute. Yeah, here's the cupcake. So there are like gummy bears all over the top, and then a cherry, and there are Swarovski crystals as the eyes of the bears. They're all the way around the sides in different colors, and then kind of scattered on the cupcake. So let me just show it to you guys like this. Very, very cute. One of the like most fun packaged perfumes that I've seen them come out with. And it's, yeah, the opening of this fragrance just it's everything for me. The dry down again is a little bit different. So again, if I smell it directly on the skin, I can smell more of the patchouli and the amber, but throughout the day I'll get the initial like opening notes, that whiff of that sweetness, if that makes any sense. I'm probably the worst at describing fragrances, but I'm trying. And I just love it. I've been wearing it all week because I got it, I think I got it on Monday. And 3 sprays, maybe. You can get away with this one with a couple more compared to some of the other House of Sillage fragrances, but still it's one that lasts all day with like 3 sprays. And I just like to smell it. It's got a great twist on that perfume that I love, and it brings back so many memories for me back in the day from when that perfume originally launched. So if you like a gourmand with a little bit of a twist, it's sweet, but it's not overly sweet, again because of the it's the amber, the patchouli, and the cedar wood that's in there as well with that sweetness. It's not like overly sickeningly sweet, if that makes sense. It's just like it's a great amount of sweetness and not sweetness. So again, with the cupcake, it's got the glass that ombres from pink to kind of clear to the top. It's one of the, again, the cutest perfumes that they have done. Very, very cute, and I love the scent. And then House of Sillage also came out with a scented candle collection, and they've done candles in the past of their fragrances, and I've got a couple. I burn them sparingly because I don't want to like them to go away. So I've got some back there. One of my absolute favorites, you guys know, is the Wonder Woman fragrance. Well, they came out with Haute Bijou, which is a little bit strong for me. I had tried the travel size, and then Benevolence, which is one of my absolute favorite fragrances from the House of Sillage, and so is Whispers of Truth, so I'm half tempted to order Whispers of Truth. And then Tiara, which is also another really light, fresh scent that I can wear as well. So they sent over the candle in Benevolence. So if you like, again, a gourmand, and this one's a little bit sweeter than the Sweet Dreams, but it's caramelized with a twist, you'll love Benevolence. It's, again, it's one of my favorite fragrances, not only from the House of Sillage, but that I have in my collection. I'll just kind of show you guys how these come. The candles come right here. So this is an 8-ounce candle, and it's made in the US, and it smells divine. Benevolence is really, really good, you guys. It's really, really good. So they sent over the Benevolence candle, and they also sent over the Aquamarine travel spray with the Benevolence refills in there. So again, one of my favorite fragrances. So I was super happy about this guy because their travel cases are stunning, and these come with a wipe down cleansing cloth as well. So this is the Aquamarine travel case, and then there are 3 refills in the set, and then there's one inside of the Aquamarine as well. So I just kind of show it to you guys up close. It's so pretty. I've got a couple of these, and when I travel I do take these with me because it's just easier than like taking a whole bottle of perfume, you know. So there's Swarovski crystals around there, and then there is your refill, and these just super easy. They just slide right out and you can pop them right back in. So love that one. Blue is one of my favorite colors. It's just a really pretty one with the silver kind of detailing on there as well. So just an absolute huge thank you to the House of Sillage for sending over those 2 packages. I feel very strongly about a lot of their products. I'm actually wearing, oddly enough, I didn't realize that until just now, but I've got on the House of Sillage, the Crown lipstick on my lips today, and I'm wearing it with the Makeup Forever Artist Pencil in whichever coral, and it's like the perfect combination. It's such a fun lip combo. And that is everything that I have for my haul today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I will see you guys later. Bye.